Sniff?
Sniff?
No!
Look.
No!
I'm sorry, I got confused. I panicked.
Look.
Listen.
Taylor.
It's Look, Listen with Geese and Guyera. Taylor's here. It's a podcast about Pokemon. It goes up every Friday and other things. Oh, man, it wasn't that difficult.
Day to you.
Man, you got Imogen Heap.
Well,
It's Guyera's birthday.
That was the Simpsons song at the end of it somehow. On Geese's Hatsune Miku's. Yes, it's my birthday today. By the time you hear it, it will no longer be birthday. By the time you hear this, Clambos, we're going to be on the field for Pokemon Month in Japan, looking at Pokemon and showing them to you. So
Pokemon
get ready
month?
for that.
Are you going to be there for a month?
No, Geese basically is. I'm only being there for maybe 2 weeks.
For
But
3 more days than you, Guyera.
3? I thought you were saying for 3 weeks minimum.
No.
She's rounding up.
Round.
2 weeks plus 3 days, basically 3 weeks, basically a month and a half.
Basically. Clambos, we need to prepare you. So, you're going to get this episode today. Today is about Pokemon anime. To aim to be a Pokemon master. Takeshi to Dento Majo Mori. Fun episode. Next week and the week after, I think, not positive on the exact logistics. But what I'm trying to say to you, Clambos, is get ready because we're going to do Japan vlogs. It'll go up on the YouTube. And then for the audio podcast feed, if you listen on there, it'll just be saying, go watch the Japan vlogs. That will be fun. So that's what you're going to get for the next few weeks, something like that. But enjoy the Pokemon episode today. We needed to prepare you for this development.
The emotional fallout.
Well, we didn't prepare last week, I realized. We mentioned offhand, but now is an official declaration of notice for you. You got your 2-week notice, and by 2 weeks, I mean 1 week notice.
Heary.
As required by law.
I'm ready for it. This is bad coffee. I haven't
What
made
is it?
Bad coffee. I've been making coffee with rose syrup, which is terrific. I've made my own rose syrup before, which wasn't really worth it.
Look at Geese's face.
It's listen. Look. It's floral coffee's fantastic. Everybody knows floral coffee is fantastic. You drink tea, and I'm sure you drink milk tea, which is basically floral coffee, kind of, sort of. Have you've had like a lavender coffee? Those are really popular, right?
Yeah, I've had that.
Okay. And I'm sure you found it amazing based on your reaction. So just imagine rose coffee.
We're imagining it. I've got cold brew from Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf.
They've been giving me saying a Japanese brand.
No. Poka. I'm gonna get some.
I only go to Kitake-kun coffee.
No, Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf because they've been giving me rewards lately for some reason.
They're not still running pumpkin spice, are they?
I don't believe so. But their cold brew is delicious. What's odd is it tastes like they pour a little pepper in it just to give you a little pep.
A little je ne sais quoi when the reviewers are coming.
You getting that birthday Starbo?
Yes, that's very important, Geese, because the way Starbucks does, Starbo is 1 day only. Mm-hmm. You only get your birthdays.
Usually, Aaron makes coffee for me before he goes to work.
Uh-huh.
But not only did he not make coffee,
he threw a bucket of cold water at you.
That'll wake you up.
No, we're out of coffee, so I couldn't even make coffee for myself.
Oh my God.
I got 2 hours of sleep, so there was like a little bit of leftover coffee from yesterday in the coffee maker, so I drank that.
Geese, no. First of all, Aaron, put Aaron on blast. Go tweet at him. You can find him, prof_ticklebits on Twitch, something, whisper him, DM. Mm-hmm. Tell him he needs a gallon of cold brew in the refrigerator at all times.
Brew hot coffee and just store it in the fridge.
And second of all, Geese, what are you doing with 2 hours of sleep? I would die with 2 hours of sleep.
The last week I've not been sleeping well.
Geese, no. If you get that little sleep for that prolonged, you're going to get sick. So you got to figure out something. Talk to the doctors.
Yeah, well, you're preparing yourself. You're having god-awful leftover, I assume, room temperature coffee and not sleeping at all. You're going to sleep like an angel on the plane. But sleep like a baby, I guess, is the phrase, not like an angel.
Like an angel baby.
Sleep like a baby. Well, when I think of babies, I think of the baby emoji in WhatsApp that has it's a little angel baby. So I just think angel. Anyway, you're gonna sleep like a baby on the plane, and you're gonna love every minute of the coffee. When I am transitioning time zones that are separated by a substantial margin, I just stay up all night the night before, and then I can sleep on the plane. Fun story about the very first time I went to Japan. I went with my friend. So we're going to Japan to see his family. He manages to get his seat upgraded. His mom works for the airline, which is how we got dirt cheap tickets while we were over there, because we were both flying standby. So he manages to get his ticket upgraded to business class or first class or whatever it was, where they give you, he comes out with like slippers and a robe, drinking champagne. And of course, me at the time, I'm like, I want that. I'm very tall. I'm going to be cramped and all alone. Like I deserved anything. And my seat also got upgraded, but to the section below that.
Taylor also does not drink, so I don't know why he's so excited about the champagne.
It was more the lap of luxury he was in, because I'm sure he was eating like caviar or something, and that's not really my speed. So I find out we're going to be separated, right? And I see an attractive girl, and I was like, man, I'd love to sit next to her. Yes.
Like you're like Brock. Half your stories are just, here's an attractive woman.
You should see my notes for this episode.
Hope you like the outro.
Oh my God, best outro in any medium. In a fit of defiance, I take a whole bunch of sleeping medication like NyQuil, and then whatever, because I had sleeping pills at the time for insomnia, and I took a couple of those. So I'm starting to kind of drift off. I get to the plane, hadn't slept all night, and I'm like, I'm gonna power through this trip, because it was 12 or 13 hours to get there. Who sits next to me on the plane but attractive girl? Who wants to talk to me a whole bunch on the plane? Attractive girl. Who is knocked out so much that he wakes up covered in his own drool?
Attractive?
No, it wasn't. That would have been real funny. But I wake up and there's food under my face covered in my own drool. And I look to the right, and attractive girl goes, I thought you would want to wake up to food, so I placed an order for you and put it under your head. And I'm just sitting there covered in drool. I have never slept like that in my life. Rest of the plane trip was okay, except I don't know, this really cantankerous old dude in front of me saying, I just want to lean back my chair, and me saying, you can't, right? I'm a taller guy. And he said, I let you sleep for 8.5 hours. And I said, first of all, I'm so sorry, I forgot to ask your permission. Second of all, it's not my sense of spatial entitlement. It's my femurs. You're fighting my bones. Like my knees are touching the back of the seat and the back of your seat. I can't do anything about this. Flight attendant came over. Yeah.
Painting a picture in their mind.
Flight attendant comes over, and I said, I can't do anything about this. I even have an upgraded seat, which wasn't my choice.
The flight attendant came up.
Oh, and they were so nice and everything. Just a bunch of like,
Clambos, it's look, listen, playing, watching, goofing. Actually, I think that's a different podcast, so I cut that out. I watched The Last of Us, which continues to be good. Clambos, again, this is coming out too late for you to know this, but because of Super Bowl Sunday, we get another Last of Us tonight instead of Sunday. Very exciting. And I've been watching so many videos on Japanese talking and Japanese doings and what to do when you're in Japan. Geese, what did you watch this week?
Well, it was 2 a.m. the other night. Aaron and I were hungry, and
Hungry for
we
croquettes.
got some hot dogs, some 2 a.m. hot dogs, and we watched a riveting match of professional darts
Nice.
from the 2020 World Cup.
Have you seen one of my favorite clips on YouTube? It's the guy, I think he's a British guy at the World Dart Championship or whatever, and he's sitting there, and it's just like this dude. He looks like an accountant or something, someone who works in a cubicle. He's holding the dart so intensely, and he's staring at it, and he doesn't break eye contact. He goes, "Who's in charge, me or the devil?" And he throws 3 darts and misses all of his shots and just throws his arms up and starts walking around the room.
Oh my god.
It's such a good clip. You should really watch it. Anybody who hears this, watch that clip.
Anybody.
One of my favorite sports moments.
Reminds me of Who Do You Think You Are, I Am. That's the bowling man.
Yeah.
Taylor, do you have much to add to the same shows that you listed last time, making a mockery out of this podcast?
I listen.
That's a no.
I'm doing my best, but no, I didn't really watch anything. I just keep watching YouTube videos about different things.
Yep.
Listen to the Office Ladies podcast. Enjoyable. Their editing is so bad. Maybe it gets better in later years, but I'm just at a loss for words thinking, I know these women are pulling tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in advertising. I know there's a lot of money involved, and the editing is worse than mine, and I can't believe it. Any case, yes, Last of Us, the most recent episode.
Last of Us was good.
It was okay. Not as good as episode 2, I think.
Every time I watch Last of Us, all I do is order a whole bunch of food. I don't know why. I did it when I watched Mad God, which was a very poor decision, and do it with The Last of Us 2, bunch of body horror. I don't really like what they're doing with Ellie's character too much. I feel maybe one of y'all remembers the game more, but I really don't remember her being this abrasive.
All right, my video games of the week. I played GoldenEye on Switch. Terrible experience. Tekken 2 on PS5. Wonderful experience. Ape Escape. And then all the new Game Boy games that just shadow dropped on Switch yesterday.
Which ones?
All of them, Taylor. There's so many Game Boy games on there. Wow, there's, to be realistic, I think there's like 8 each. 8 for Game Boy Color, and 8 for Game Boy Advance. But they play wonderful on Switch. They look great. They got the shading, filtering right. It looks so good. And, oh, God. Stupid Metroid Prime Remastered. I want to buy it, but I just can't spend another $40. I'm spending way too much money. I got to save up.
$40.
Yeah.
I want to play it.
Worth it, because it seems like they actually put some effort into it instead of
sure
it's worth it. Geese, what the heck is Dinkum?
Dinkum. It is a Animal Crossing kind of like game where it's kind of Stardew Valley, where you leave from a city and you go to an island that's based on Australian. It's like a cutesy like Animal Crossing game. You build up a town, you pay debts,
and you collect on those debts. It's like Sopranos.
All right, so it's Animal Crossing like, except it takes place in Australia. What is the appeal, and why would you play Dinkum over Animal Crossing?
Well, I don't have my Switch with me.
It's mainly the debts.
I don't know. Animal Crossing just is so frustrating because there was a lot of, I felt, usability issues with Animal Crossing that really prevented me from playing it long term. Also, I don't know, Aaron found the game and we were looking for a game to play together, and I like collecting things.
Like debts.
I don't know. Yeah, collecting on debts. It's fine. It hasn't sunk its hooks in me necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite part about the game is saying the name. Dinkum.
I think
Dinkum is a phrase, it's an Australian word or something, like mate or something. I don't know.
That sounds right.
Aaron and I
So,
just have been saying dinkum to each other.
easier, more accessible version of Animal Crossing. We all know that Animal Crossing is the Dark Souls of the Animal Crossing genre.
What? Okay, how's Geralt in Fortnite? Sick? Question mark?
Yeah, he's fine.
Sick?
Signature 2 swords and eye scar and perfect human personality.
I don't know. I unlocked the skin yesterday. The quest to get the skin is like fairly straightforward. I really haven't looked at the skin though.
What's a normal Fortnite quest to unlock a character? What's that like? Because I've never played it. Still.
It depends. For Geralt or was it
Geralt.
Geralt.
Yeah, it's Grrr.
We all know Gerd from Rivers.
Girly.
For this quest, you had to like defeat this like boss on a map, do melee, like a certain amount of melee damage, do an emote in the throne room on this one location of the map. It was pretty straightforward.
Okay. I have a lot to say about Yakuza.
Let's hear it.
It's the same game. Same game, new shoes. It is great. I totally understand. It'd be funny if I just said, it's great. Now on to Eden. I'm finally starting to get that feeling that you were talking about, which is like being or having like a feeling of longing for an area that you haven't been to or been in a while.
Fenwick.
Oh man, it makes me miss Japan a whole lot. I love the side plot.
Taylor, come with us.
He can't even move.
I can't
we'll
move
push
out
you
my
around
bed.
in a wheelchair.
Walking up to the second stories of cafes and I'm just sitting. It'll be great. Anyway, I love the side missions. Every single one is terrific. I'm kind of getting a little burnt out on it because I've been playing it a lot, but the story is so good. The characters are so good. I don't want to. Michael, have you finished it?
No. I barely got the girl as the team member.
Okay, so I'm a bit after that. I have recruited just recruited a party member with a very cool jacket. Keep that nice and vague. So the story's getting real good. The management minigame, loved playing that. Love the little running and you're just making a bunch of money, and it's just oh wow, what a game! I'm actually I think last time I said I wasn't going to play any of the other Yakuza games. I'm going to play whatever the next one is. I've been watching some synopses on
Ishin?
Kiryu. So been great. I tried. I've started God of War Ragnarok post-game content. It's fine. I'm kind of done with the game after the story, and I sort of have that issue with cleanup trophies. Whenever I finish a story, I'm done with it. But gotta get the platinum trophy.
Very sick. All right, let's move on to eating. I actually have a lot to say this week because I've been trying to eat a little bit healthier, which includes Del Taco from Lanky. Lanky. Shouts out Lanky. And the best part is he got some of it refunded because they delivered it to the wrong address and it was cold. But shouts out Lanky. Lanky's a member of the Reichert's community who always gets Dan his treat streams. And the boy apparently gets some sort of sick enjoyment out of sending people food. So he's sending Geese and Aaron and me.
I benefited from it.
Oh my God. Geese has got so many cinnamon rolls.
I want food.
Well, get in touch with Lanky. Start showing up in the streams.
He's one of my favorite Kongs.
Got him. And I ate some cream cheese muffs and some Danishes and oh my God, the first cold brews I had, because I don't know if you Clambos remember me mentioning this, but for all of January, I had the Starbucks refill tumbler, which you're only allowed to get hot coffee and iced coffee, but not cold brew. I mean, you can get tea too, but so I've been cold brewless for a month. So now I'm just going wild into the cold brew now that it's February.
Wait.
Wait.
What Starbo drink are you going to get for your birthday?
That's a good question.
Well, I mean, what I used to do is get crazy frappuccinos, but I just like regular coffee. So the thing I was going to say, like a nitro cold brew, add a bunch of espresso shots, but that may goof the nitro cold brew.
100% it will.
Here's the thing. I wish they still had Starbucks reserves over here, because what I used to do with that is get their affogato drink, or what was it called? It was the one with a bunch of ice cream scoops and they just pour espresso all over it.
Yeah, it's an
Cold brew.
affogato.
I think I used a different word though, because affogato is like you eat it with a spoon. This is you actually drink. Anywho, it doesn't matter. That's a good question, Geese. I actually don't know the answer to it. It's going to be some sort of just highly I can almost assure you there's going to be a lot of extra espresso shots.
Did you try the
potassium supplements?
I'm so tired. Did you try the pistachio flavored stuff at Starbucks? I'm intrigued by that.
I was about to recommend that.
Is it good?
Oh, it's good?
I like pistachio coffee a lot. I got birthday drink when it was my mother's birthday, and because my mom and girlfriend both do the exact same thing, which is they just get a latte.
That's funny. Some of my family does the same thing, but can you from now on just refer to your mother as mother?
Yes. When mother.
Funny.
When mother and girlfriend.
No, it sounds bad with girlfriend for some reason, but with mother it sounds funny.
When mother and others order their birthday drinks, they just get a latte. And I'm sitting there and thinking, I can't tell Michael, obviously. This is atrocious. And I'm sitting there trying to convince him, and I'm saying, you can just order anything you want. Anything you want. So this was the year.
I'll have a small hot coffee, please.
Yeah. Just, leave a little room for milk. I finally got her to go through the drive-thru and order the drink, and it was great. It was really great. It was like taking her to Disneyland, because I say, I'd like a venti pistachio latte with extra pistachio in it and 10 shots. And her eyes are wide, and she's looking at the screen, and it says
everybody turned on you, girls.
$14 or something. And she said, that's too much. And I said, don't you worry. And she ordered everything else. And we finally get through. And she said, but the total was $26. And I said, don't worry about it. And we get through. And she's just like, wow, you can do that for your birthday. And I said, there you go. There it is. So it's the best thing. Pistachio's good.
I don't know if I'd like the pistachio, but they do have pistachio right now. Taylor, do you have some grape?
This is the time to try it because it's free.
But, all right.
That's what I was going to do with mine. But I signed up for Starbucks rewards one day too late because you have to sign up at least 2 weeks before your birthday, and I did not. So I did not get a free Starbo.
Well, Starbucks has a policy called make the moment right. So if you tell them, they'll probably just give you the free drink anyway.
That seems like a lot of work.
Oh, yeah, and you don't like human contact and things. Okay, I also got, oh my God, I was so excited at work. Somebody just walked up to me and gave me 2 loaves of bread from the bakery nearby. I was so excited, ate them all. Bread's so sick because I took it home. You could just put some of the bread in the microwave and it's delicious, like it's fresh hot bread. I can't believe it.
Were you looking like wayfish? Did that person feel bad for you? Like, here, poor boy, here's some bread.
No, I'm sure he just had a big giant order and was just handing out some. And then I've been eating salads and healthy stuff at Sweet Green and Simply Salads. So I had, let's see here, hummus crunch salad with kale and romaine and pesto and onions and chickpeas and cabbage and cucumbers and breadcrumbs from, what was I eating earlier that was forbidden? Oh, that was the factory meal. Forbidden rice. These breadcrumbs reminded me of that. It's like Zaktar breadcrumbs from the ancients. Then we got olives, which were strong olives. They really took all the flavor. That's all you could taste with the olives. Hummus, basil, some bread, and some roasted barbecue squash, and then a chicken Caesar salad. And last night, and I'm going to eat some today, the chili's on sale, girls. The $18 chili's only $5.99. So I got a bunch of that, and I poured.
Chili! We got chili on sale!
Exactly. The chili's on
sale. Get a hot bowl of chili!
5-gallon Home Depot bucket on the side of the street with a ladle.
And I poured onions and mustard and pickles and cascabel peppers. Mustard and chili is so good, Geese. First, I've
never heard of this.
What? You've been spending too much time eating 2 a.m. hot dogs in the fields of Wisconsin. You need to try some mustard in your chili.
Mustard is so good in chili. Well, this is a very specific type of chili that I eat from here, but
It is more like
it's
a
not-
gel. I would call it meat gel.
Yeah. But yes, the meat gel, super good with mustard. But Geese gave me an eyebrow that reminded me of the lady over there when I asked for more mustard. She gave me such a look. And it drives me nuts because I have a printout Tommy sent me that talks about, oh, our portions are enormous and you can always ask for more and we'll always give you more.
Where's this chili parlor that you're going to?
Chili parlor. It's called Tommy's Original Hamburgers, but they're supposed to love giving you extra stuff. And this woman's face when I asked for extra mustard, she was disgusted.
What time of day did you ask?
It was 12 or 1 or 12:48 or 1 a.m.
That's why. Probably just dealing with a bunch of drunk people.
Geese, what did you eat?
Last Friday, Aaron and I were streaming. Aaron was playing Punch Out, and we had Treat Stream on, and somehow we got 2 treat streams at the same time, which is not supposed to happen. That's when you can like set up a Grubhub order, and someone from like Twitch chat can send you food.
What?
Yes.
They don't even see your address.
That is amazing.
That's how Lanky sent me Del Taco, and I wasn't even streaming.
Holy mackerel.
So, we get 2 treat streams by accident at the same time of Taco Bell. And then 2 hours later, Lanky comes into chat and buys us Taco Bell again. So we were just like swimming in Taco Bell. And then more recently, we streamed again and we had Treat Stream. Well, actually, we didn't do Treat Stream. I just sent Lanky Aaron's address and he sent us McDonald's. He sent us a dozen chocolate chip cookies, an apple pie, a fish fillet, a McDouble, and 40 McNuggets and large fries.
Okay, that's a decent order. It's a lot of sweets.
He's also sent her an entire tray of cinnamon rolls, I think.
Yeah, when I was living in Austin, he sent me a Whataburger meal, and it included a giant tray of cinnamon rolls, like 2 Whataburger burgers, and like chicken. Oh, it was so much.
Oh, that's my boy.
I'm so hungry.
Oh god, me too. Holy, I've only had water and bad coffee.
Nice, me too. What did you eat this week, Taylor?
Nothing. Well, luckily for you, I ate the least exciting meal of all. Just a bunch of popcorn, and I had a pie. Haven't had any like bad food in a while, and this is my first time.
Delicious. Hey, reporter Geese Peep, do you want to put on your Hatsune Miku and deliver Poké News of the Week again this week, or do you want me to do Poké News of the Week?
You can do it.
Poké News of the Week, Cerebi update. Hot information fresh from Cerebi. As of December 31st, 2022, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet has sold 20.61 million units. They might beat Pokemon Red and Blue after the DLC. And again from Cerebi, the next series of the Pokemon anime, this is very appropriate news for this podcast, will begin airing on April 14th, 2023 in Japan. In the doc, I've included an image.
Oh, that's sick. So Ash does not have children. And those are not the characters.
We don't know. We don't know. Who's to say? Taylor, throw it over to reporter Geese Peep out in the fields of Luxembourg?
Luxembourg.
Hatsune Miku out in the field.
I'm reporter Geese Peep, and I'm in Luxembourg, where it's currently 33 degrees Fahrenheit and partly cloudy. It's humid.
Are you sweating, reporter Geese Peep?
I'm always sweating. Here in Luxembourg.
The Incredible Hulk of the sweaty reporters here.
Yeah, that's her secret. I love the laugh. All right, back to you. Back to us. Very sick. Wonderful. Good stuff. Taylor, do you need to use the facilities before we jump into the episode?
Probably a little bit.
All right.
Yep. Okay. I'll be right back.
And welcome back, everybody. We're back. Geese, tell them the name of the episode in English. that we're going to watch.
Takeshi and Dent and the Forest Witch.
Or in Japanese, Takeshi to Dento to Mori no Majo.
You didn't just say Mario.
No, I said Majo.
Oh, okay.
Mario and Luigi.
Or Takeshi and the Ghibli Forest. I like all these episodes.
Takeshi. Clambos, it's episode 3 of Aim to be a Master. We open with Ash, Pikachu, and Misty walking through a little town, and boy, are they hungus. They're hungs, they're starving, much like Team Rocket every day of their lives.
This is the first episode open without a little ukulele.
The kids find a cafe where there's some delicious sandwiches and there's some Pokemon food, but it has, Geese, a very familiar taste. Where do they know? I wonder why that is.
You're going to tell me you're seeing that cafe and you're not thinking this is just Taylor's Cafe. Perfect.
Old Taylor's Cafe?
Perfect for me. I want to live in a world where there can just be 2 people eating at a restaurant screaming about how good it is at the table. And just nobody's glaring, nobody's rolling their eyes. It's just, you know what? They're right. It is that good.
Oishi desu.
What kind of sandwiches were they eating?
It looked like a strawberry sandwich.
But Geese, I wonder why the food tastes familiar.
Well, I think Ash... I'm so tired. Give me 1 second, okay?
I love the dogs barking with it too.
I'm sorry.
Ash and Misty compliment the waiter, and the waiter... Oh my god, I can't...
The nose blowing.
Ash and Misty compliment the waiter, and the waiter calls to the back, "Manager, they're complimenting your food." And then we see the manager step outside from the back, and it's Brock.
And Taylor, what does Brock want with this waitress?
My boy, Brock. Oh, what a character. He starts an entire covert operation to get with this woman. And he's just, first of all, starts up my cafe, which is fantastic. And well, there's no second. I already said it, I guess.
Misty's like, "Why aren't you being a Pokemon doctor right now?" And he's like,
that is a good question.
"I've decided it's been my dream to help this lady out."
Brock.
Throwing it all away for love. What a guy.
Yeah. Clambos, if you don't understand our rambling, Brock is in love with the waitress who works at the cafe, so he's become a manager for, you would assume, years now, to try to win over the affections of the waitress, who unfortunately already has a boyfriend, or should I say fiancé, that she shows on her phone, and Brock is...
Right when Brock comes to the table and explains the situation, she's like, "Oh, by the way, Brock, my fiance is coming back, so you don't have to help me anymore." And then he turns into a statue and is devastated by this news.
He does the coloring book thing where he loses all his color, much like Team Rocket in the last episode or 2 episodes ago.
Their hunger. Yes. So I was when I saw the picture of her fiance, my mind was trying to get Brock out of the situation, saying, "Oh, it's just her brother. Oh, she's saying my sweetie, but they're just really close siblings." It wasn't. I mean, they look kind of alike.
They look a lot alike.
Agree. So I thought they were siblings.
But they're not.
Nope.
And Brock's devastated. I guess he quits the cafe over this news, because then we just see him sitting under a staircase. As Ash and Misty try to cheer him up, but he says he's all burned up. And did you two catch the most realistic laugh the actor for Brock did in Japanese? You've never heard a laugh this realistic in English, but he's just laughing to himself about the situation, just but good. It's very good.
Him and the voice actor for James.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Just so good.
Then Taylor, who walks up, who surprises the whole crew.
Was it Dent?
His name's Cilan, but yes, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Very funny when Ash says Dent, because my mind just went straight to Batman yelling at Harvey Dent.
But Taylor's familiar with Cilan, the Unova. This episode's going to be fun, Clambos, because there's a lot of trivia, and I don't know if Geese and Taylor are aware of all the little things happening in this episode. But real quick, Cilan, He is the Pokemon sommelier from Unova, based on the United States. Cilan, cilantro, green, grass type, waiter, gym leader, Pansage from United States. We met him in the Watchog episode. He shows up and says, What are you guys doing over here?
Wait, why do they call him Dent then?
That's his name in Japanese.
I lost it over the fact that a Pokemon sommelier is a thing.
It's funny because it's obviously an emerging field.
I guess so. I'm confused as to the point of it. Like, I get that he does this whole demonstration with Misty Psyduck, saying like what the Psyduck's characteristics are, but like, what's the point of a sommelier? I'm just confused about the point of that.
So what because I was thinking about that too, especially because Misty didn't know what it was, and I was thinking, well, I guess they're not really like a connected society because there's still a lot of face-to-face stuff that happens. But I would imagine he would get a lot of use out of competitions and facilitating trading. So like he's saying, hey, this is this caliber of Psyduck, and this is not this caliber of this. I would imagine it's a very upper society kind of profession.
That makes sense. Kind of like a art auction house broker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. But the funny thing is, he's also doing the jack of all trades thing, which was kind of a thing in this episode. Between him and Brock, they're both like, oh yeah, I wear many hats.
Okay, so we get a flashback to last episode because Misty has never met Cilan, but she remembers that Ash had the little lure that caught more fish than Misty's lure. So then Ash introduces Misty and Cilan to one another. Turns out Cilan is aware of Misty. He's aware of the beautiful women of Cerulean Gym and the Spare sister. The three beautiful sisters in the Spare.
This is the first time I've noticed anybody kind of indirectly compliment Misty on her appearance, because she said, oh, I'm from Cerulean City. I'm one of the sisters there. And he said, oh, that makes sense. You're one of the beautiful sisters of Cerulean City. And then, they go into the joke of like, oh, and there's the Spare. But he doesn't identify her as the Spare right away. Haven't really seen that in the show. Who was the tall guy in the Watchog episode?
Nobody important. Oh, are you talking about N? He's very important.
Yeah. Okay. I for a second there, I thought N and Cilan were the same person, and my mind was confusing them or something.
No. N's completely different.
Okay.
Cilan explains Pokemon Sommelier does this poetic thing with Psyduck Geese was mentioning earlier. Misty's not into it. Before he even finishes, she just puts Psyduck back in the Pokeball and says, yeah, I get it. And then we get a shocking turn of events. I don't know, maybe this was mentioned in the anime, but it was a big surprise to me. Turns out Cilan and Brock are friends, and they met in Johto, and they watched Ash win the big championship together.
I thought
crazy.
That was really
Small
sick.
world.
I thought that was very,
Cute.
very sick.
Small
I don't
world.
think it would have been addressed in the anime.
Maybe not.
Like, I don't think they would have mentioned it afterwards if it had been.
So he sees that Brock is in big trouble. He's over there, heartbroken, and Cilan says, oh, I know what we need to do. We just need to bring him to a field of flowers. That'll cheer him right up. So they go to do that. Okay, here's what I want to say about Cilan, which I find very interesting. It was a bit of a revelation to me when I realized something about Cilan. I was listening to the voice actor speak, and I kept thinking to myself, God, I love how clear and easy to understand Cilan's Japanese is. And then as we go through the episode, you're going to notice him saying a lot of words in English, which that does happen in Pokemon. Like Ash will go, thank you, and little things like that.
It was a lot, yeah.
But if you listen to Cilan's English, it's not thank you. He basically will say thank you in a perfect American accent, which Clambos, he's from Unova, where they speak English because it's the United States of America. Very clever.
That would have been an aha thing for me if I had known that he was from Unova and all the other trivia.
Well, he's from Unova. We watched that episode. But it was very sick to me because I went, oh, that makes so much sense. That the voice direction they would give the voice actor for Dent is speak Japanese in an accent that sounds more American. And thus, it's always clear and easy for me to understand. Very cool. The sad thing is, that's not going to play in the dub at all. They're all just going to be speaking English, and that's just going to go completely over. That can't carry over.
That happens so much, though. The first time I ever saw that was probably the funniest joke of the show, Soul Eater. I think it was Soul Eater, where I watched the Japanese and English because the English had a really, really strong cast. And one of the jokes just completely is lost on the American version.
It's a sad fact of life. People should learn to be able to appreciate art with little text at the bottom of the screen. Like we've mentioned before, like the director of Parasite said during his, I don't know if it was an Oscars speech, maybe it was his Golden Globe. Geese, before we cut to the flower field, who do we see up in the air looking at the kids in a giant balloon?
Team Rocket.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be Hatsune Miku.
I was just as depressed about it.
Team Rocket.
Thank you, Geese.
Interesting that Ash and crew never really look in the sky. You would think people would be looking in the sky.
Giant balloon over a big town.
Because, like, you can say, oh, it's they're not paying attention. There's so much going on around them or whatever. But there are Pokemon in the sky all the time. So you would think that they would be looking out for those and see the gigantic Meowth balloon.
Probably, yeah, you would think. Or the invisible Latias.
People walking the streets will be like, look at that giant Meowth balloon.
Not the kids. Not the twoips. Oh,
Jolly boy.
Jolly boy. This episode's going to be fun for you two because I know that you don't know this line of Pokemon. So now you know them all by their Japanese names. And I'm going to be using their English names, so you're going to be losing it. All right, we cut to the flower field. And unfortunately, Clambos, the flowers just remind Brock of ladies. And he's sad again.
I love that he takes the Taylor approach to a failed relationship where just there's no consoling.
Taylor's consolation is Fallout 3. He loves it.
What did we was it Fallout? It was Fallout.
You played a lot of Fallout 3.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So somebody, a Pokemon, is watching Brock be sad from a dark and spooky forest. That Pokemon is, of course, the Generation 8 Pokemon Hatteran. Hatteran, write this down, you two, because you got to keep track.
I actually know the Pokemon names because I played Sword and Shield.
Nobody likes somebody who brags, Geese. I'm writing it down. Hang on.
So
wow, Taylor.
It's Hatenna. Here's the line from Baby going up. Hatenna,
Hatenna,
Hatrem, and then Hatteran.
Hatram.
Oh.
And hat. What, adult?
Keep saying hat.
What's the last one?
Hatenna, Hatrem, and Hatteran.
Hatteran. Like Zatarans, the rice company.
Hatenna? I said Hatenna, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a hat antenna. It's a good name for her, actually. The tiny baby.
Very good design, too.
It explains exactly what it is. So, Hatteran, Clambos, I'm going to tell you now, this may turn into me goofing the names a couple times because there's a lot of hats going on.
Yeah, that's okay.
So,
that's the theme of the episode.
Hats,
the 3 hat ones. And then, like I was saying earlier, Brock has 2 jobs, cafe manager and Pokemon nurse. And Cilan has multiple jobs, talking about his cross-training.
Well, Taylor, I don't know if that translates to Japanese. I don't know if they have the phrase, he wears many hats, meaning multiple jobs, but all right.
Yeah, Univa.
Yeah. Okay. Hey. Okay, so they make it clear in this episode, Clambos, that they are in Galar. I wasn't sure where they were in the previous episodes, maybe Galar as well. But they make it clear they are in, currently, the region based on the UK, which is Galar. All right, Hatteran's watching from the dark and spooky forest. She can read that Brock has negative emotions, so she's going to lure him into the dark and spooky forest so she can, I don't know, ingest his dark emotions. It's not too clear what she does with these dark emotions, but she likes them, I suppose.
Yeah, probably uses it as fuel.
Hatteran has this ability to create illusions and makes this illusion at the start. Is it just the girl the waitress saying,
Mhm.
Brock, I love you. Come and meet me.
Yes. And the chase music is so intense when they're running after Brock.
Right. So Brock runs into the forest because he's been entranced and hypnotized by Hatterin. Almost said Hatterim, but no, it's Hatterin. The other kids say, oh no, Brock, what's going on? So they start to run to follow, but Hatterin stops them in their tracks with, of course, her psychic ability and gives them all headaches and freezes them in their place. Psyduck pops out of his Pokeball in solidarity with his headaches. In solidarity, by the way, was the word I was looking for last week that we didn't say. I ended up saying sympathy headache, but in solidarity.
Does this happen often? Because that stood out to me like a Pokemon using moves on humans. Does that happen a lot in the series?
Yes.
Okay.
Geese, as the kids run into the forest, who's snooping from behind a bush like every episode of Pokemon we've ever watched?
Team Rocket.
I think the most excited I get is the couple seconds you can watch her going towards the house.
I was going to say the build-up is very good.
The anticipation is so exciting. Okay, so now Team Rocket follows them into the forest. Brock bumps into a mushroom, and now we got Detective Cilan on the case. He puts on his detective gear, much like Detective Rotom from Sun and Moon, and he says a bunch of English. He's trying to figure out what's going on with Brock, what's going on with Hatterin. Have they seen Hatterin yet?
I don't think so.
No, they haven't.
Well, clearly they know something about Hatterin because Cilan is explaining that Hatterin's going to try to trap Brock in a forest.
I think he talks about there's something in an index about a forest witch.
This is basically just the Blair Witch Project is what we're watching.
Yeah. He explains her emotion reading. And he says, also, don't be too loud or she's going to rip you into pieces.
So frightening.
It is very scary. I don't know how they're going to translate that to the dub.
I wrote that down. I wrote that I had never seen a scarier Pokemon entry.
So immediately after Cilan says, don't be loud, we get the kids just screaming Brock's name and Pikachu sniffing around. And everybody bumps into Hatenna, the baby form of Hatterin, and Hatenna's cute. She's
so
just a little
cute.
She's just a little walk-in girl. So this whole line is exclusively female, so they're all she's. So she's just walking around. She's like a little head with some little feet, and she's got bangs or fringe if you're from the UK, I suppose.
British? Boy, she's British, she is. And she's a little British girl, and she's got a big hat antenna that'll tell her where to go.
She is British because she's from Sword and Shield.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody asks Hatenna for help finding Brock. So she jumps on Ash's head, because when little Hatenna jumps on somebody's head, she can read their mind and pinpoint where the person is. Then we cut to poor Brock dealing with the torture of being immediately accepted and immediately rejected over and over again by the waitress.
Poor Brock.
Not Hatenna, gosh darn. Hatterin. Hatterin is just laughing at Brock's torture. Hatterin is not a great person.
It's an evil witch luring people in to feed on negativity. It's probably not going to be the jolliest poke.
She's an evil witch Pokemon.
It's kind of funny if you look at the tree of it, like how they're interpreting emotions, because the first one just responds well to calm emotions and runs away otherwise. The second one attacks not calm emotions. And the third one just kills and eats your negativity.
Basically, this line is a metaphor for Japanese society. You hide all your negative emotions and you just nice and calm on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Although they can read minds, so it's all bets are off. We get some evil waves across the forest. First, when I saw that scene, I thought there was a big explosion, but no, it's just evil waves that baby Hatenna can sense. So she leads the kids to Hatterin and Brock. Oh my god, we encounter a Hatterim, the middle stage. People are pulling out Pokedexes, and Misty's talking about, oh, that Pokemon's cute too.
Such a funny Pokedex entry.
But the Pokedex, like Taylor said, says she beats up people with strong emotion.
I just think it's so funny that the Pokedex is like, careful. If you get scared, she's gonna beat you up, which is terrifying.
Careful, there's a fish in the percolate. She attacks! Oh god, the kids run away and they hide behind some glowing mushrooms. Hatena remains the only nice Pokemon of this entire line. She's still helping them, still leading them the way.
Interesting that Hatena didn't jump off and run away when they were scared from Hatteram?
Hatteram.
Hatram?
Oh, God. Hatteram. Oh, my God, Geese. Everybody's hungry again. Cilan wants, and this is where I learned for sure that they were in Galar. He wants a Galarian Darumaka Ekiben, which, Geese, we're going to eat a bunch of Ekiben because it's going to be exciting.
What is Ekiben?
Ekiben are these adorable little bento that you buy in train stations and then you eat them on the train as you're traveling. Clambos, if you're unaware, the Ekiben technology is so sick. You literally get this little box and there's a string. You pull the string. You pull the string and it creates a chemical reaction that just heats your food. It's wild.
I feel like,
Oh,
are you just...
I didn't even know that.
I kind of feel like you're just eating cancer. What, like, is that safe?
No, it's completely safe. It's just incredible technology.
What do
They sell it?
Do you know what the heating element is?
No. I know it involves pulling a string.
Sick. I wonder if it's like those ice packs, the ones that I go diving with, or heat packs, where you click something and then it just gets really, really hot.
Yeah, I think it's something. I mean, you eat sizzling meat out of these little boxes that they just have sitting there. But no, it's completely safe. The technology is so incredible. So yeah, he wants the Ekiben. Cilan does.
Dinkum.
Misty bumps into a Joltik. Oh god, she's still afraid of bugs, but Joltik's a cutie pie, a little electric bug. Very cute.
Dent asked a very good question to Misty.
Cilan.
He's like, yeah, Cilan.
Harvey Dent.
How do you feel about water and bug types? And Misty's kind of like, it depends.
Makes sense.
Yeah. The example he gives is Dewpider, which it's funny Dewpider's coming up again because I know I mentioned him in a recent episode. But yeah, let's say Geese says. Misty says, yeah, that's a tough one. I don't know. And at this point, Hatteran psycho mirages Ash into seeing his mother. And Ash immediately thinks, oh, this is great that she's here. I'll go run and eat her croquettes she's about to serve me.
Yes. His mother with croquettes, which do look good.
I thought it was very endearing how Ash and Misty, because this doesn't really happen, right? Like, people don't just announce things they want and that's accurate. So Ash just says, I just want my mom's croquettes. And Misty says, I love water Pokemon. And their deepest desires that are being manipulated by this forest wish are his mom's croquettes and water Pokemon. I thought that was adorable. Has Cilan brought up his cross training yet?
Cross training?
He yells out like, oh, detective cross trained in this and this, and he like lists his CV. And I was just thinking of how he's probably maxed out his Skillshare membership at this point, but he's talking about all the different jobs that he has.
Oh, I hope you wrote it down because I didn't write that down.
Mystery sommelier cross detective.
Yeah, there we go. With his little hat.
Ash sees the croquettes. Misty sees a bunch of water Pokemon. Samurott, Vaporeon, Slowpoke, Blastoise, Mudkip, Quagsire, and Sobble. And Cilan, okay, Clambos, time for some trivia. Geese and Taylor, get ready. Okay,
I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Geese is dying. Geese
so
is
tired.
losing it. Okay.
You're good. You're good.
Here's who Cilan sees. He sees the Battle Subway Brothers from Pokemon. No, Taylor, it goes so much deeper. From Pokemon Black and White 2. I think they're in Black and White 1 too, but I think they may be using the model from Black and White 2. They're from Unova, Emmett and Ingo. And they have little train bentos, Ekiben in Japanese, that Cilan really wants to eat. Okay. Ingo was sort of a throwaway character, an optional kind of side thing in Black and White where you would go underground into the subway and you'd fight these really tough battles, completely optional, I think, in the second one. And then out of nowhere, in 2022, in early 2022, Pokemon Legends Arceus comes out. That game takes place in the past. The past of Sinnoh, aka the Hisuian region at the time.
Okay.
And who do we see in the past but Ingo, brought back by Arceus with his memories lost, but he feels like he's got to try to find his brother.
No,
so it's real emotional seeing Ingo here. Yeah, in the past, when he's been brought back, he's a warden of the Pearl clan, and he's the sickest character imaginable. And now I'm just seeing him in the anime, real time, I guess, before he was sent back in time. Or maybe the anime and the game canon are different. I don't know.
And they made the distinction that it is the actual character, not his descendant?
No, it's Ingo. He was sent back to the past. He lost all his memories. It's very
sick. That's sick.
He's such a cool character.
Not as cool as N, but yeah, very cool.
Tough to say.
The hallucinations that the kids have all bring them back to the flower field. And they only wake up after Pikachu electrocutes them.
With 100,000 volts. Taylor,
does that mean that Pikachu's immune to it?
I don't know. They don't show Pikachu at all during the sequences.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like Hatterin's really doing it to Pokemon.
Because was she doing it to Psyduck? Or was Psyduck just standing there with a headache? Because there wasn't a purple outline around Psyduck.
I think he was just standing there with a headache.
Yeah.
I don't know when they run out of the forest, but here's the next thing I have written down. We cut to Team Rocket after they run away and Hatterin's laughing. Geese. They're all... I got a Taylor and I got a Geese. Taylor, they're starving to death. Feel bad for Taylor. Geese, did you see that adorable little thing? That adorable image of Meowth and his fantasy of all he wants is cuddles from Giovanni.
It was so cute. That image was so cute.
And they're hungry. And Hatterin immediately attacks them. And then I guess we cut back to the twerps, because then we get the fantasies going absolutely wild. Their croquettes turn into a giant mountain that are going to collapse onto Ash. The water Pokemon turn into bug Pokemon. They turn into Ariados, Caterpie, Spinarak, Skorupi, Ninjask, and Venipede. And then this made me laugh because, as far as I'm concerned, Ash and Misty's dark fantasies are pretty scary. But Cilan's is just, oh no, the train's going away. It's not that different. It's not as terrifying.
Visually, it's such a horror movie scene. Seeing them going away rapidly is very, like, that's something that you would see in a horror movie.
Okay, and this is when Pikachu shocks them, does the 100k volts, knocks them out of it. Is that the phrase? Why does that sound wrong? Knocks them out of it. Their dark fantasies.
Yeah.
But luckily, Hatena is still by their side. Hatena leads them to Hatterin and Brock, and Cilan says, all right, guys, because they're hiding behind a bush, as per usual. Cilan says, before we just rush in, let's survey the situation a little bit. Let's pay attention to what's going on before we just jump in.
Which is kind of interesting, because the Pokedex said this can sense emotions 50 kilometers away.
Uh-oh.
And they're just behind a bush. And this psychic witch that has sovereignty of the entire forest is just like, I don't know what's going on. I just care about Brock.
I think what we've discovered in Pokemon lore, at least when it comes to the anime, is bushes are impenetrable force fields. Nothing can be seen. Nothing can be sensed. Everybody's always hiding right behind a bush and never noticed. So that's got to be the explanation there.
Normally, I'm not one of those people that is like, oh, well, you know, this doesn't make sense because of this. But Pokemon's very well thought out, I think. A lot of the stuff makes sense in universe. So I always kind of assume there's like a sick explanation for something.
Well, I don't know about all that, but they're hatching some plan. Brock is seeing Nurse Joy. Nurse Joy's in love with him. Oh no, she hates him. Oh no, she loves him. Oh no, she hates him. And Detective Cilan's on the case, explains this whole scenario to the kids. Ash, he's had enough, Clambos. He rushes in, jumps right in front of Hatterin and Brock.
Very sick scene. by the way, when Hadoram is
Hatteran.
Hatteran.
like Catherine. For the middle stage is Hatrem.
Right. Foolish mistake. Hatrin and Hadoram.
No,
Hatrin. The witch one transforming into the cafe lady and Ash transforming into the fiance was real sick to me. I thought that was very cool.
That is what Brock sees. I agree with Taylor. I think the next scene is very well made. It's very well done. I don't know if Geese likes it because there's a little bit of battling. A little bit. But I felt that this was exciting and a cool concept, what she's doing, what she's making Brock see. So she's making Brock attack Ash because Ash is the boyfriend in his mind. And she is the waitress saying, "Oh, Brock, please help me. He's evil," or something along those lines.
It's also interesting within Pokemon because normally you don't see an actual struggle to maintain control of a situation. Normally it's just like a 1, 2, 3. Like there's not a power dynamic in most things. It's normally just like, I will use my attack, then you will use your attack. And this one is like, it's struggling to maintain control of the illusion, and that's pretty unique.
Yeah. So Brock throws out Steelix, and Ghost Waitress Illusion says, "Save me!" And then Hatteran attacks Ash, and Cilan sends out Pansage. And Geese, did you write down what he calls Pansage? Because it was amusing.
Oh my gosh. My vintage.
Oh, it's so
perfect.
I lost it.
So it makes so much sense for a sommelier, but like, I don't.
He calls Pansage my vintage because that's his first Pokemon.
Oh.
When you play Pokemon Black and White and you go to battle the first gym leader, you battle one of 3 gym leaders depending on who you picked as the starter, because they have the 3 elemental monkeys: Pansage, Panpour, and Pansear.
Pansage is the broccoli monkey.
Yes, he's a grass type monkey, and that's who you battle in the beginning of Pokemon Black and White. If you chose, I'm trying to remember because it's tough to remember if they throw the opposite type, like the type that's weak to you or the type that's strong to you. I actually can't remember right now, but it's one of the two. So if you picked Oshawott or Tepig, one of the two, he's going to throw out Pansage. And he says, "Pansage, use Bullet Seed," or in Japanese, "Machine Gun Death from Above," or something like that. There's a psychic attack, and Stone Edge from Steelix. Dodge it. And Ash saves little baby Hatena from the Hatteran's attack.
Can't believe you don't laugh every time you say that. My favorite move in Pokemon.
Well, I wrote it down.
Dodge it.
Ash is looking like me playing Elden Ring at this point. He's just jamming circles.
Yeah.
He's just dodges, little rolls. It's so good.
The funny thing is, like, the declaration that he makes, I'm protecting Hatena at all costs, and then immediately uses it as a shield.
So good. Well, no, he's trying to protect Hatena.
Yeah, but he just holds it in front of the Psychic Blast, too.
Nah, he's slamming on circle, trying to move his right stick. And luckily, right now, the illusion is beginning to fade a little bit. So in Brock's mind, Ash is changing from boyfriend to Ash over and over again. Little glimpses of reality going back and forth.
So sick.
But oh no, Geese, what happens? Where does Hatteran's attack land?
It hits Hatena.
And that immediately snaps Brock out of his trance spell.
'Cause he's a doctor.
He's a Pokemon doctor.
And a cafe manager.
And a Pokemon breeder. Brock snaps out of it, runs over to Hatena to treat her wounds. He says, "First I gotta sanitize it or decompress it or something," and just pulls out a potion. And in the video games, that just gives you 20 HP or whatever, but I guess it's a disinfectant in the anime.
I feel like it's a Neosporin, like a spray Neosporin. Like it pretty much does everything.
Gets rid of her scratches, which is nice, and then he's gonna start bandaging up little baby Hatena, and that's when Ash should have just done this to begin with, but Ash just steps in front of Hatteran and says, "No, stop it." He somehow convinces Hatteran to stop, once Hatteran sees little patched up baby Hatena, I guess she thinks, oh, I guess these guys are all right if they're helping little baby Hatenas.
Which you would
Because then
assume
she just...
would be picked up on a little bit earlier because of the psychic stuff. But, okay. So this goes back to sneaking up behind the bushes. Clearly, Hatteran?
There's Hatena. I'm going to say it in evolutionary order. Hatena, Hatteran.
Hatteran. Okay. So Hatteran is clearly distracted by wanting the negativity from Brock. So that's what is causing the lapses in control and the lapses in noticing things, and it's finally tuning into what's going on.
Yeah, and we got, as always, invisible Latias just watching from the skies. We cut to dusk. Everyone's walking out of the forest, talking, going on. And Geese, I love Misty's delivery of her English line, we're gonna get tasty meals. In Japanese, it's something like, Oishi gohan getto tabemoru. Can you say tabemoru with Hatsune Miku, please, Geese?
I can't speak Japanese.
No, we got it, Geese. Watch here. Listen carefully. Tabe.
Tabe.
Maru.
Tabe maru.
Yeah, there you go.
Perfect, Geese. Perfect. Because tabemas, to eat, it works.
Yell that
Wait,
out on
I
the
was-
train.
What was that, Geese?
I blinked out. Did you mention the legendary Pokemon that was peeping?
Yes. Yeah. We already saw Latios fly off. With an A, because Latios is the boy, the blue one. But yeah, it's an adorable line delivery from Misty. She's excited about eating, tabemas, to eat, tabemoru. They're going on about how good of cooks Brock and Cilan are, but oh no, Clambos, Cilan can't travel with them and have fun.
Because he's pulling a U. He got the advertisement for the Subway Brothers, and now he's going to go get Subway Brothers.
He's not going to get Subway Brothers like they run a restaurant.
Yeah, he
They're
is.
opening a new train line. And he's
Yeah.
going to be there for the opening of the new train line. Also, they got some Ekibin there, so he's going to grab one.
Guarantee he wasn't thinking that before the forest. He was like, I wonder what I should do today. And now he's like, I got to go to that train opening.
Okay, so he's got to go. But Clambos, Taylor and Geese, commas in there too. As you transcripting
Commas in
this.
the chat.
Commas. We have
Dinkum.
a piece of trivia here. Cilan says to them, "Best wishes." Anybody have a hint here? Taylor, you should know this. This is information you should have in your brain. All right, he's giving me the eyebrows. Best wishes is, of course, the name of the anime that Cilan is in. Pokémon Poketo Monster. Best Wish.
Wow.
BW. Best Wishes. Black and white. Get it? Makes sense?
They did what they do with the 3DS.
Sure.
Dream drop distance.
That's your trivia of the day.
Oh,
And then
wow.
And then, Geese, who do we cut to after this scene?
Team Rocket still in
Who?
the forest.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you, Geese.
Team Rocket. What?
I don't know. It was a funny melody you chose for Team Rocket that time. What are they doing in the forest, Geese?
Being tortured.
Well, they appear to be eating a very decadent and yummy looking meal, but it's revealed that Hatteran is hypnotizing them, and they keep eating all this food, but they don't feel full because it's all an illusion.
You know, I can relate to this because I've been drinking water this whole time and I'm just always thirsty.
Oh. They're still so hungry. I felt so bad for Taylor during this scene because he just wants the poor kids to eat some food, and they can't. They're always so hungry. And Hatteran's just laughing at their misfortune. And that is the end of the episode, but Clambos.
Well, before you get to
that's-
that, before you get to the best part of the entire series, I found it kind of funny that Misty following Ash was like a big deal. Like she was sneaking behind the trees and everything. And in this time, it's just like, oh yeah, Brock's, I guess, going to go with us to little fanfare.
I mean, where the heck else is he going to go? He got his heart broken by fiance girl. Clambos, we now get to the outro. You know, where they play the credits. I was expecting what we saw last week and the week before, which is the classic intro from the beginning, Pikachu on a little Pokeball. Instead,
Oh boy.
we get... Taylor, would you like to tell the Clambos about the outro?
The best outro in media history. Okay, so question for you two. How long did it take you to love it?
1
Instantly.
second. I paused it and immediately wrote, very funny.
Yes.
Brock with sombrero, mustache, and Pokeball maracas. You know you're in for a good time.
Oh man. And the lyrics, terrific.
La, la,
Just
la, la.
everything was so good. I'm probably going to download that just so I can have access to it.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised that there was no little Team Rocket in their archaeology uniforms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing was, I think they covered everything because in the episodes before we started watching, they saw the starters and now they saw the 2 legendaries. So, okay. So what we see is it's a full outro, a song dedicated purely to Brock and his luck with women and all the women. This is the outro song, so he gets his full song. I'm guessing this aired around the Johto era because we have a Johto Pokemon there with Pineco that seems kind of out of place. But in Japan, this probably wouldn't fly in the United States. But we see him dancing with Cantonian executors, and I was laughing when it gets to the part where he goes, GIRLS, girls!
Just so good.
He's chasing it in the outro. He's chasing after Officer Jenny, Nurse Joy. There's Pikachu and Vulpix and Psyduck. They're playing in a big ball pit, but all the balls are shaped like hearts. And he's dreaming of, is that Misty's sisters? They're in the outro. Pineco and Pikachu are completely exasperated by Brock's antics. Slowpoke and Nurse Joy float away. Magikarp bumps, hits Brock. This is all in the outro. It's not real. Togepi and Vulpix are laughing, and Growlithe and Officer Jenny and Nurse Joy and Chansey are running away. And then we see at the end Brock with the Hawaiian lei and a bunch of Oddish, some pineapples in the background, and then who goes to kiss Brock in the finale of the outro?
Jinx.
You said James. It was a good outro, Clambos. I recommend all of you watch it. Good work, everyone. That's the end of the episode. It's now time for a wrap up.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. You can follow us on social media at Look Listen Cast on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Thank you to Keith for our artwork. You can find him at twitch.tv/KeithSquared.
Thank you to all of our supporters. If you go to looklistencast.com, you can click a link for a lanky. Oh, you can click a link.
The best
for
Tom.
Anchor.fm and support us monthly. Thank you so much. Shouts out Professor Ticklebits, am I right? For the ad break and the Reddit and the goofballs.
The Reddit?
I don't know, because Taylor's got me goofed with this dang
The
boilerplate. He's made a mockery of the boilerplate, and now I'm so self-conscious about the word boilerplate. But
I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Thank you for the music or something. Follow him on twitch.tv/prof_ticklebits. Let me guess, Taylor, you don't have the doc open to read a question, correct?
Sure
Am I
do.
correct?
I had it.
What?
I had it open this time. Although I'm just seeing, yep, I can read it.
Oh, and also, before Taylor reads the question, everybody please recommend this podcast to your friends, family, grandmas, and etc. And
Family,
somebody
friends.
else said that-
Neighbors.
and neighbors.
Huh.
Somebody said that recently, and we must have been lifted from us. They must have stolen from us. That's the only explanation. That's the only possible
100%.
explanation.
Yeah.
Please, Taylor, please read the question from DrivingDVan. And then Taylor's going to read the question, and then Geese is going to be the first to answer because she's very apt to answer this question.
If you had to teach a class, what subject would you feel most qualified to teach?
Gun to your
It can-
head.
It can be
Yeah,
a
gun to your
traditional
head.
subject like math, English, etc., or something completely non-traditional.
Let's throw it to Geese, teacher of the quarter.
Well, I definitely teach not math. But I was an actual teaching assistant, and I kind of taught information literacy to college students. So
That is very
helping them-
interesting.
information literacy is like finding sources that are like reliable, knowing how to like cite everything properly, like
that's
basic
sick.
research skills that college students need.
Uh-huh.
So I would like do that probably.
That's interesting. When did
If I
that
had
start? Because
to.
I didn't have that at any point.
It is kind of new, probably in the last like decade. I think what's newer is having explicit freshman classes or freshman seminars where you have to do information literacy, where you learn how to use the university like databases and know how to use like MLA or APA.
Necessary now with all the, I mean, there's so many unreliable sources out there. Just so many sources in general.
Oh, for sure.
That's cool.
Very sick. I would teach acting. I could teach acting. Taylor, what would you teach?
Probably water polo or diving or politics or something.
Yeah, you could do
water polo and politics.
Well,
Yeah.
he did go to school for political science, but do a half and half class, poli-sci plus water polo.
Oh, yeah, with diving as the class trips.
Oh, that'd be so sick when you're out going to the what do you call those, Taylor? What did you go to in Austin? What is that called?
Oh, the I was a delegate.
You're doing a delegation in the pool. So you're
throwing
balls and
those are like, I mean, that would be sick if you could do it. There are way too many people for that.
A big pool?
Get out into the ocean and be like, there is no party line when you're underwater. I'd act like a grizzled old captain.
Beautiful. Ooh, good screenshots, Geese. For good faces. It will be used. Clambos, thank you so much for joining us on today's episode. Thank you so much. Hey, great news. Last week's episode, we got over 100 views on YouTube, which is very exciting. Thank you so much, Clambos. Geese would say kisses or something. I don't know.
XOXO.
There you go. XO, yes. Okay, and again, I mentioned it at the front, but we got to mention it one last time. Next week is not going to be the next episode of Pokemon. It's going to be Japan Vlog. Same for the week after that. Third week, I don't know, but we'll see. If you're listening to this, we're already in Japan, so say hello.
And I may be bending my knee.
Taylor may survive, but you're not going to see him for a few weeks, so send
in a jar.
Yes. Wait.
Yep.
Geese, God! You made it the whole episode.
Family friendly.
So find Taylor.
In a jar.
He's not on the internet, but just type in was that and say hello. Goodbye, Clambos. See you soon on Japan. In Japan. Goodbye.
Sayonara.
Look at that literacy. Come on.
Konbanwa. Konbanwa. Taylor, when are you going to say goodbye?
Bye.
Howdy, y'all. It's me, Geese Pete. Thank you for listening to the Geese Pete Productions podcast.
Geese Peep Enterprises, doing business as Peep Industries, together with its subsidiaries, is a diversified worldwide entertainment company with operations in media networks, talent management, parks and resorts, multimedia entertainment, and consumer products and interactive media. Geese Peep Enterprises is a Dow 30 company.